In a small, quiet village nestled beside a gentle river lived a young person who felt like a forgotten shadow. Days passed in a blur of sameness. The sun rose, the sun set, and each day felt much like the last. This person, let's call him the Quiet One, often watched the river flow, dreaming of distant lands and grand adventures. But these dreams remained just that, dreams. A heavy blanket of doubt covered their spirit, whispering that they were not strong enough, not clever enough, not brave enough. The Quiet One helped around the family home, tending to the garden, fetching water from the well, and helping with daily chores. They did these tasks well, but without joy, without a spark. Inside, a yearning grew, a quiet ache for something more. They saw others in the village, full of laughter and purpose, building things, teaching children, or crafting beautiful objects. The Quiet One admired them, but also felt a pang of sadness, believing such purpose was not meant for them. One crisp autumn morning, a new announcement stirred the village. The annual Harvest Festival of Lights was approaching. This festival was the most important event of the year, a time when villagers showcased their skills and contributed to the community's joy. This year, the elders had decided on a special project to build a grand, illuminated archway at the village entrance, a symbol of hope and welcome. Everyone was encouraged to participate, to bring their unique talents to make the archway truly special. The Quiet One heard the news and felt a familiar mix of excitement and fear. A part of them longed to help, to create something beautiful that would be seen by all. But the louder voice of doubt quickly spoke up. "What could you possibly offer?" it asked. "You have no special skills. You are just ordinary." The Quiet One sighed, and the dream of contributing faded, replaced by the usual feeling of inadequacy. Yet a small seed of curiosity had been planted. As days turned into weeks, the village buzzed with activity. Carpenters measured wood, artists sketched designs, and weavers prepared colorful fabrics. The Quiet One watched from a distance, observing the dedication and teamwork. They saw how even small contributions added up to something magnificent. One afternoon, while sitting by the river, a thought popped into their mind. What if I just tried a little something? The Quiet One remembered seeing some old, discarded pieces of smooth, flat river stones near the bank. They had always been drawn to their natural beauty. A simple idea formed. Perhaps they could clean and polish these stones, and maybe, just maybe, they could be used to decorate a small part of the archway. It was a tiny idea, a very small step, but it felt like a beginning. The next day, instead of just watching the river, the Quiet One began to gather the stones. They were covered in mud and grime, but beneath the date, a faint shimmer hinted at their potential. The Quiet One found an old brush and a bucket of water. They began to scrub, slowly, patiently. It was hard work. Their hands grew tired, and the water turned murky. Some stones remained stubbornly dull, no matter how much they scrubbed. The voice of doubt returned. "This is pointless," it whispered. "No one will notice these simple stones. You're wasting your time." For a moment, the Quiet One almost gave up. They looked at the pile of still dirty stones and felt the familiar weight of disappointment. But then they looked at one stone they had managed to clean thoroughly. It gleamed, reflecting the sunlight, revealing beautiful patterns and colors that had been hidden. It was a tiny victory, but it was enough. It showed that effort could bring forth beauty. So the Quiet One kept going. Each day, they cleaned a few more stones. They learned which brushes worked best, how much pressure to apply, and which stones held the most promise. They discovered that some stones, even after cleaning, were not suitable, and that was okay. Not every effort would yield a perfect result, but every effort taught them something. Slowly, a small pile of gleaming, smooth stones began to grow. One day, an elder, a kind woman known for her wisdom and gentle smile, noticed the Quiet One working by the river. She walked over, her steps soft on the grass. "What beautiful work you are doing," she said, her voice warm. The Quiet One looked up, startled, and felt a blush creep up their neck. They had not expected to be noticed. "They are just stones," the Quiet One mumbled, feeling shy. The elder picked up a polished stone, turning it in her hand. "Just stones," she repeated, her eyes twinkling. "Look at the colors, the smoothness. You have brought out their hidden light. Every small effort, done with care, adds to the beauty of the whole. Never underestimate the power of a single polished stone. Her words were like a gentle rain on dry earth. The quiet one had never thought of their work that way. They had simply been cleaning stones. But the elder saw something more: dedication, patience, and the act of revealing hidden beauty. This small conversation ignited a tiny spark of confidence within the quiet one. Emboldened, the quiet one continued their work, but now with a new sense of purpose. They began to sort the stones by color and size, imagining how they might fit together. They even started sketching simple patterns on old scraps of paper, trying to visualize how the stone could adorn the archway. The voice of doubt still spoke, but it was quieter now, less convincing. As the harvest festival drew nearer, the archway began to take shape. It was a magnificent structure of carved wood and woven branches. The artists were adding their final touches, painting intricate designs. The quiet one, with their growing collection of polished stones, felt a surge of courage. They approached one of the artists, a friendly man with paint-stained hands. "Excuse me," the quiet one began, their voice a little shaky. I have these stones. I thought maybe they could be used somewhere on the archway." They held out a small basket of the most beautiful stones. The artist looked at the stones, his eyes widening slightly. He picked one up, feeling its smooth surface. "These are wonderful," he exclaimed. "Where did you find such gems?" The quiet one explained how they had cleaned and polished them. The artist listened with interest, then smiled. "These would be perfect for the base of the archway, where the light will catch them just right. They will add a natural sparkle." A wave of relief and joy washed over the quiet one. Their small, quiet effort was going to be part of something grand. They spent the next few days working alongside the artist, carefully placing the stones, arranging them into beautiful mosaics. It was hard work, but this time it was filled with purpose and a sense of belonging. They learned about design, about how different shapes and colors complemented each other. They felt their hands grow more skilled, their eyes more observant. Finally, the night of the harvest festival arrived. The entire village gathered at the entrance. A hush fell as the elder, the same one who had spoken to the quiet one, stepped forward. With a grand gesture, she lit the first lamp on the archway. One by one, the lights flickered to life, illuminating the magnificent structure. Gasps of admiration rippled through the crowd. The quiet one stood in the back, their heart pounding. As the lights shone brighter, they saw it, their stones gleaming at the base of the archway, catching the light and sparkling like tiny stars. They were a small part, but they were there, contributing to the overall beauty. Suddenly, the elder's voice rang out, clear and strong. "This archway," she announced, "is a testament to what we can achieve when we all contribute, no matter how small our offering may seem. Look closely at the base, at the beautiful, polished river stones. These were brought to us by a quiet hand, a hand that patiently worked to reveal the hidden beauty in something ordinary. This reminds us that every one of us is a light within, waiting to be polished and shared." The quiet one felt a warmth spread through them. They were not named, but they knew the elder was speaking of them. A few people turned, their eyes searching the crowd, and some recognized the quiet one, offering small, appreciative nods. For the first time, the quiet one felt truly seen, truly valued, not for grand deeds, but for quiet, persistent effort. From that day forward, something shifted within the quiet one. The blanket of doubt began to lift. They realized that strength wasn't just about grand gestures or loud pronouncements. It was in the quiet persistence, the willingness to try, the courage to take a small step, even when fear whispered otherwise. They understood that every person possessed a unique contribution, and that the journey of finding it often began with a single, simple action. The quiet one started to seek out new tasks, new ways to contribute. They helped organize a village library, patiently sorting books and making sure everything was in its place. They volunteered to help the elder with her garden, learning about different plants and the rhythm of nature. They even began to teach some of the younger children how to find and polish river stones, sharing the joy they had discovered. Life in the village still had its challenges, of course. There were days when tasks felt overwhelming, or when old doubts tried to creep back in. But now, the quiet one had a new way of looking at things. They remembered the dull, dirty stones and how perseverance had revealed their inner shine. They remembered the elders' words about hidden light. They learned that setbacks were not failures, but simply detours on the path. When a task seemed too big, they broke it down into smaller, manageable steps, just like cleaning one stone at a time. When they felt discouraged, they remembered the feeling of seeing their polished stones gleaming on the archway, a tangible reminder of their own capability. The quiet one's journey was not one of sudden, dramatic change, but a gradual unfolding. It was a testament to the power of small beginnings, a consistent effort, and a believing in potential within oneself, even when it felt hidden. They learned that purpose was not something found in a faraway land, but often discovered in the very place they stood, in the quiet acts of dedication and the willingness to share their unique light with the world. And as the seasons turned, the quiet one, no longer a shadow, walked with quiet confidence, their path now clear, their spirit bright.